My mother-in-law is my husband's second wife. Story time. When my husband and I started dating, we'll call my husband Zach, I had never really talked to his mom, but I was very much aware that she knew about me and I knew about her. I had seen pictures, but I had never met her. I had never met her because of some traditional practices that I wasn't allowed to meet my soon-to-be mother without the consent of the adults. My mother-in-law obviously gave birth to the most amazing man. This is why he's my husband. During the period of me and Zach dating, obviously his mother would say hi to me on the phone through Zach, but me and her never really directly talked. Zach would always tell me how his mother can't wait to meet me, and honestly, I couldn't wait to meet her because who gave birth to this amazing man? Eventually, after Zach engaged me, of course, I had to meet his mom. My engagement was definitely beautiful, and actually, Zach told me that his mom helped plan everything. Honestly, I was proud of her. When Zach told me that his mom helped plan the engagement, he actually mentioned to say that his mother is also willing to help with anything that I would need help with during the wedding planning. Of course, I was doing everything. I didn't have a wedding planner. So obviously I told him, oh, no problem. And I was trying to be a good daughter-in-law. No problem. If I need help, I'll let her know. For sure, it was time to plan the wedding. During my wedding planning, of course, I'm Ami's girl. So Mom and I literally did most of the things, but I was shocked when the groom's mom started asking to come with us when we were running errands for the wedding. Of course, I felt it was weird because I was not very comfortable with her and we didn't talk much. So why was she requesting that she should be around during my wedding errands? But mothers, my mom always said, no, it's good bonding time. She can come along whenever she feels like. Until this one day when she officially crossed the line. On this day, I was supposed to shop for my wedding dress and my mother-in-law requested that she comes along. That's my mother-in-law, so I don't expect her to see my dress. At least so I thought. Trust me, that day I tried to come up with all the excuses I can think of in the world, but this woman did not budge. So we had to go with her. Since I told my mother that I didn't want my mother-in-law to see the dress, we made a plan that while I tried on the dress, I would go with my friends, then they would be waiting in the lobby while we did our thing. So it meant my mom and my mother-in-law won't see the dress at all. I felt bad because I'm my mommy's girl and I really wanted my mom to help me pick the dress, but no, that couldn't happen because my so-called mother-in-law wanted to be present for everything. Thankfully, I successfully chose my dress without my mother-in-law seeing it, but when I was about to get the dress, then the drama happened. I had specifically told the shopkeeper to keep my dress in a black bag because remember it was not for hire, I was actually buying. So I wanted it to be in a black bag so that when we left the shop, my mother-in-law couldn't see the dress. But there were no black bags available and it had to be in a colorless bag like those laundry plastics. So immediately my mother-in-law sees what's in the plastic. She says, is this the dress you have settled for? So I go like, oh yeah, this is it. Because I don't have to be rude, remember, she's my mother-in-law. So I say, oh yeah, this is it. And then she goes like, I think we need to pick another dress. At this point, since she was controlling most of the things like the venue for where the wedding would be, and honestly, my mother just told me to hold back on everything. It's just an event. It's going to pass. I knew that at least I wanted to have power over the dress that I'm going to wear. So I wasn't letting her have this one. Because I was not trying to be rude, I asked the shopkeeper that we go back and try to look for another dress. So my plan going back there was to tell the shopkeeper that she should tell my mother-in-law that that's the only dress that was going to fit me. And luckily, she stuck to the plan. When we got out, the shopkeeper told her, unfortunately, this is the only dress that can fit her, so she has to go for this. So my mother-in-law went further to say, don't you think we can wait for another dress since the wedding is not happening right now? We can wait and see if maybe they can order other dresses that you can come and pick from. I don't really like this one. So I just look at her and I have no words. My mother can tell that I'm about to blast, so she just intervenes into the situation and tells my mother-in-law, you know what, dresses are difficult to find, let's settle with what we've already found. My mother saves the day at this point. I would complain about these things to her son, but he would always tell me, maybe it's because I'm the only boy getting married, so maybe she feels some sort of a void. This is why maybe she's trying to come help the situation. She's just trying to help you. She's a really sweet woman. So when he says that, honestly, I feel it's a bit encouraging, but I would have preferred that he stands up for me because she was a bit much. She had to pick my venue. Now she wanted to pick my dress. She chose the day of the wedding because apparently her other days were busy. She was busy with other things. So we had to settle with the day that she wanted. I tried to talk to my soon-to-be husband, Zach, but he didn't do anything about it. And he suggested, you know what, let's just do what she's saying rather than us going back and forth. The wedding passes, and it's on the day that she chose, of course. I'm officially Zach's wife. This is where I faced the real problems. After our wedding, we didn't live in the same city as my mother-in-law, but one day she came visiting, and her reason for visiting is that she had a flu and she would rather spend time with her son. Of course, baby boy, Mr. Zach, wanted to spend time with his mother as well, so he asked me, please let her come, she's not feeling well, and the reason was a flu. I didn't think that's a reason enough that a married woman should leave her home and come to stay with her son because she's got a flu. But anyway, I let it slide and I let her come. When my mother-in-law comes, the first thing is she looks at my kitchen and goes like, oh, this is your kitchen. For a young lady, I don't think this is very pretty. I'm thinking, woman, what do you even know about aesthetics? Whether my house is pretty or not, I don't think she is the rightful person to tell me about it or to even say a thing about it, because this is my house. I wouldn't do that at anyone else's house, let alone hers. Why does she think she can do that at mine? Also, everyone that comes to my house always mentions how beautiful it is. So she's the first person who says that. Then I know she's obviously just on some BS. She visits a month after us getting married. In my opinion, I think that's too early. We are still a very young couple. Why should I be keeping my mother-in-law? I find it very hard living with my mother-in-law because everything that I do, she has to control. From what we eat, the channels we watch. I'll be watching TV. When my mother-in-law walks in, she'll change the channel. Of course, I know I'm supposed to give her that chance to watch whatever she wants to watch, but we can do it in a nicer way, right? On a few occasions, my mother-in-law has actually walked into our bedroom while me and my husband were doing what married people should be doing. This was becoming so bad until one day I was forced to answer her. By profession, I'm a makeup artist, so I have a makeup case where I keep all my things. This case is in my bedroom. I don't know how my mother-in-law found herself in my bedroom. But just a little backstory. Everyone in the house knows for sure that I do not play about my makeup stuff because this earns me my money. And I keep it in a safe train case in my bedroom. So that train case, a train case is that thing where a makeup artist puts their things. It looks like a suitcase, but it has a more blocky figure and it has a lock. That's where I keep my stuff. So it stays in my bedroom. When my mother-in-law moved in with us, my husband told me I should be comfortable with her coming into the bedroom because she wanted to be checking on her son. Like, will I kill you if she doesn't come in the bedroom? What do you mean she wants to be checking on you? If she was free enough to let you get married, obviously she knows that you're safe with me. To be honest, it shocked me that my husband even considered telling me such a thing. Like, what do you mean we should be comfortable with her coming into the bedroom? But anyway, at this point, living with my mother-in-law, it meant that whatever I said didn't matter to my husband. Whatever my mother-in-law wanted, my mother-in-law got. Life with my mother-in-law started becoming a competition for my husband. My mother-in-law would sometimes cook. Even after I have cooked, she would come to the kitchen and say, oh, my son doesn't eat those things. Let me cook him something else. Woman, I'm married to this man. I know what he likes. Honestly, at this point, I was too grown for another grown woman to tell me what my husband should eat. So I decided to stop cooking and she should continue having the kitchen. Because whatever I used to cook used to go to waste. And for sure, my husband would always be on her side. That's what used to get me all the time. Like, I will complain to him and he would just say, no, she'll be leaving soon. Let's just deal with her. Bear in mind, Zach was perfect in everything else. He was the perfect husband, except when it came to his mother. This one day, I had my makeup case in my bedroom. I was in the sitting room watching TV. I hear my bedroom door open because my bedroom door has a locking system. So once you press it, I can tell that you are opening my bedroom door. At this point, she goes in and out of our bedroom as and when she pleases. So I obviously know who's just gone in because my husband is at work. It's just me and my mother-in-law at home. She goes into our bedroom. I don't care to go check what she's doing because I'm tired of having this back and forth between her son, me. So I just choose to, you know what, let me ignore it. I choose to be at peace that day. So when I realize the door is not locking back, like I can't hear the locking system again, and she's taking too long, I choose to go in and check what's going on. So when I come into the bedroom, lo and behold, this woman is holding or she's playing with what no one plays with. This no one in my house. Everyone understands that this is business and they're not supposed to play with anything that involves my makeup. I say, hi, are you looking for something? She goes like, oh yeah, I'm going out, so I wanted to do my makeup a bit. Bear in mind, this woman can't do makeup at all. You know those odd eyebrows where you have one line? You don't need a whole makeup case. She could literally buy her own eyeliner, and that is her makeup routine. I'm honestly out of words when I see this, and the first thing I do is to call my husband so that he can talk to his mother because I'm not going to deal with all that. I don't want to be hated by her, bear in mind. So I'm trying to be as nice as possible, but I feel she's overstepping her boundaries. I step out of the bedroom. I call Zach and tell him, your mother is playing with my makeup stuff. Please tell her to just stop with that. And if she wants a makeup bit, she should pay me to do her makeup. Or at least talk to me. Even if she doesn't want to pay, I can do it for her instead of her ruining my expensive foundations. Zach's response is, just let her do her thing. You should relax with that makeup. After all, I buy it. It's nothing too expensive. We can easily replace it. So his response pisses me off. I literally tell him, Zach, I pay for some of these things. Yes, you bought me my first makeup kit and everything that was in it. But after that, this is a business that I'm running. I have been buying everything. I'm going to run losses if these things are damaged. So he tells me, you know what, just chill. That's my mother and you have to love her. Zach hangs up the call, and in my head I'm thinking, I have to love her, but she's not making herself lovable. I understand I'm the daughter-in-law in this situation, but respect should be mutual. So I just let her do whatever she's doing, but I'm still very, very upset. I notice I can't wait any longer. I go to the bedroom and tell her, oh, I actually have a client who's come. I need to get the makeup case. She goes like, actually, Dan, you can have it. When I get it, I have the biggest shock in my life. First of all, she has mixed my foundations. She has put lip ones of matte lipsticks into glossy lipsticks. Since my matte lipsticks have become glosses at this point, I can't comprehend what this woman was trying to do. Whether she was just trying to ruin this for me or what, because she would always tell me how I'm a wife and I should always stay home. Why am I working if my husband provides everything? I choose not to respond at this point because I don't want to be misquoted or misunderstood. I wait for my husband to come back home so that we can have this conversation. When Zach comes home, I sit him down with his mother and talk to them about how I don't like how I'm being treated in this house. I ask her if she can treat me fairly as I'm equally her daughter and she doesn't have to be so much in my business. I try to tell her in the nicest way possible. But then Zach gets very upset with me and tells me I'm disrespecting his mother in front of his mother actually. I would have appreciated if Zach said this in private, because now since she heard him saying that, she also starts backfiring. She starts saying all these bad things to me. When they are done speaking, honestly, I feel so out of place in my own house, just a month old into this marriage. I feel very disrespected, and you know what? That moment I felt like calling it quits, but I choose to give Zach some grace. I realize whatever they're talking about becomes too much, because now she's talking about how my parents didn't raise me right. I don't know how to be a wife. This really offends me because me and my husband have been living happily until when she came. What do you mean I don't know how to be a wife? So I choose to storm out, and before I storm out, I make a big mistake. I call her the B word and it just slipped out of my mind. You know where you get so upset and something slips out of your mind? I'm not defending myself. I was completely wrong for that, but that's what happened. That night, I spent the night at my parents' house. You know, I have messed up. I don't go back home that night. I don't talk to Zach. I don't talk to his mother. I just storm out and go. From the look of things, I can tell that my mother knows something is wrong at home. But I don't think I have the courage to tell her at this point that I insulted my mother-in-law. The following day, I choose to go back home so that I can apologize to my mother. That is Zach's mother. When I get home, I receive the biggest surprise of my life. Like, this woman is going from bad to worse. I find that she has rearranged my entire house, starting with my master bedroom, the sitting room, and the kitchen. She has changed up things like the direction of things, where if my TV was on this wall, she's put it on the other wall. She's changed the chairs around, and she has put up wallpaper on my kitchen walls. First of all, we are in a rented house. The lease clearly said that that is not allowed. So this is an extra expense. I honestly don't understand why Zach did not say anything about this to her. When I see this, honestly, I go to Zach and I'm fuming. I find him home that day. It's a weekend. I'm fuming. I explain to Zach that whatever his mother is doing is not right. And at this point, I storm out and just tell them, you know what? You two should get married. It looks like you are his wife, not me. From that time, Zach has been very upset with me. He has tried to call me, but I don't pick up his calls. And my parents are also very upset with how I behaved in front of my mother-in-law. But she gave me no option. How do you put wallpaper on someone else's walls, honestly? Anyway, our good sister needs advice because she's thinking of just ending this marriage. Bear in mind, it's only been a month. I would say she shouldn't end the marriage, but she should just try to have a civil conversation with her mother-in-law. This conversation should involve other elders. What's your opinion on this? Let's advise our good sister.